This is Harry Judd for Boxing Social in association with Betfred. We're in London. I'm delighted to be joined by Peter Fury. First of all, Peter, it's been a little while. How are we, sir?
I'm good, yeah. Good, thank you. How are you?
I'm very well, very well. Excited to see you. Excited that this fight is back on. First of all, with you, though, I know you're not one to shout on your own praises, but from us at Boxing Social, congratulations on your Hall of Fame award, mate.
Listen, thanks very much. I'm a superstar. No,
Good event, though, wasn't it?
it was a massive event. A lot of people there, and I've honoured and privileged for them to see me fit to get that. So it was nice. It was nice of these old school people, proper boxing people to award me that. So, the maximum respect back. I didn't expect it, and I'm very happy. And it's in pride of place on the mantelpiece. And everybody comes in the living room at home and say, "Yeah, you see that there?"
But yeah, it was a big event. Harold Graham was there, obviously massive, massive stars. But for me as well, I saw that the wealth of amateur coaches were also given awards. The wealth of volunteers, which, again, they're backbone, aren't they? The amateur boxing scene here.
They are the backbone. It's nice to see a lot of people there get credit. Even the professional journeymen, the centurions and all that getting the awards because they all deserve it. Without them, they're the foundations of boxing. Boxing wouldn't be where it is. They make world champions. Let's have it right.
Definitely. I've obviously worked in amateur boxing for a number of years, and it's just unthankful. Well, not unthankful, but they just work, volunteering within the boxing industry. Obviously, Vanna's accredited amateur as well, so she knows more than anyone. But leading back on to this weekend, back to business, Peter. I don't think you or Savannah or any of your team were probably phased that you had to go back into training camp, Peter.
No, not phased at all. It's just part of a routine for us. And, I tell the fighters, I know myself, anything can happen. Tomorrow anything can change. So when you know that, things can change by the minute. So that's it. You just, whatever comes. But it always comes right in the end. We're here, we're back, 5 weeks later, whatever it is. Let's get it on, 2 days away.
Was there any, again, you're a very experienced trainer, but was there any thoughts about, putting through Savannah another training camp? Obviously, I was fortunate enough to come down to see you, and Savannah said this is the hardest and longest training camp she's ever been with. But was there a fear of having burnt out in this one?
You've always got that. It's a fine balance, and that's why when she had a full week off after the training, and we've eased her back in. Instead of 10 or 12 round sparring, she's been doing sixes, and light stuff, reflex work, speed work, a few sprints, enjoying the downtime really. And you're already fit, ain't going to get any fitter. So now, putting more nutrients in the body, a little bit more rest, and she's on full throttle, back to where we are.
I asked Savannah this question, I'll ask you the same. Has your relationship grown even more because of this?
Because of what?
Well, because, again, you're having to go through a training camp again. You've gone through this together, all of your teams. So has yours and Savannah's relationship got better because of this or stronger?
No, I think it's always been strong and it always will be. Look, she's got my interests and I've got hers. And, that's what matters. But she's 100% ready. She believes in the team as we believe in her. So we're highly confident. And this is where you need to be when you're stepping up to these events. We've covered every corners. We're expecting the best Clarissa Shields ever. We're expecting a very, very hard fight. Nothing's been taken for granted here. So she's ready. She's on point and she's ready.
Obviously, the press conference was today. Again, as we expected, same with the last one. It was absolute fire. Were you weren't on the stage on this one? Were you sat in the hall eating your popcorn, just listening like we were?
Yeah. I sat there in popcorn, quite enjoying it actually. The Mikel Mayer and the Gardner, the Boom Gardner was nice to see as well. So it's nice to sit back where you're not having to answer questions and stuff and just sit there. I thought they'd done it very well, to be fair. And it was nice to just sit and watch and just see the different personalities clash. It was entertaining. I enjoyed it. It was like going to the pictures. Well, it was a theatre. It was a theatre.
It was, wasn't it? It was a theatre. I mean, it was great for us lot as just fans to just watch it as well. And it was just, I spoke to Benn just moments ago and asked him whether he was scared, or not scared, but maybe afraid that the momentum and of this fight would have gone because of the rescheduled fight. But it seems like it's just back to business straight away. Is that like it was last time, Peter?
I think it's even exploded bigger. You know, look at the press conference. Look how many people was there. You know, it's gone a massive event, this, and it is, and so it deserves it as well. It does. It deserves the credit it's getting.
When Savannah,
Excuse me. Just be quiet on this.
I read a piece in the Independent. It was a statistic that said that when Savannah went pro in 2017, there were only 7 licensed female fighters in this country. There's now 50 of them, and 10 of them are on this bill on Saturday night.
Oh, you listen, it's incredible. You know, it's like I said, you know, it's absolutely massive for women's boxing. This is, and the clash of personalities, who's involved. You know, America, England. You know, you name it. It's got all the ingredients. You know, to be a super event, and for women's boxing, I said this. After Saturday, women's boxing will take off like a rocket, and it will.
Is it going to take off even further because it's not on box office? It seems to be free. If you a Sky Sports subscription, for example, it's free to. You're able to view it a lot more easier than on box office, Peter.
I think non-pay-per-view event as well. I think it's they're already saying it's a sellout. I don't know. I don't really get involved in all of that, but it's very busy here. There's a lot of people going to turn up. I think Savannah's got amazing support. You know, the messages I get for Savannah is on another level. You know, obviously I can't answer them all, but I'm appreciative of them all. I do see them, and it's very, very much appreciated. So, you know, let's get there, you know, and let's get the job done. I'm excited about it.
There's been a lot of back and forth at the press conference today, but a bit of back and forth between you and Clarissa. There is respect there. I don't know whether she took your comments out of context, but just go through, your little to and fro with Clarissa.
Nothing, you know. I think Clarissa's good for the sport, good for what she says and everything else. You know, how can a young girl at 27 offend somebody like me at 54? You know, listen, I'm happy. She's a super fighter, and I'm going to give her all respect in the world. If she loses, she'll get the same respect off me. If she wins, it'll be the same. But may the best woman win. I'm not into talking about shit about fighters. You know, give every fighter the credit, not because just to my fighter. You know, give credit where it's due. And no, I've got maximum respect for Clarissa. And you know, look, I don't want to impose on anybody, but after the fight, you know, I'd like to, you know, we can shake hands and have a chat when it's all over. You know, it'd be nice to have a conversation with her if she'll speak to me. That is.
I think Savannah and Chris are going out for dinner or something. They were maybe going to be friends after this. Can you see that happening, Peter?
Do you know what? I think boxing is a professional sport. Listen, they've got to be as they are with each other because they're in each other's way. You know, they have to be switched on. They're in the hate business. They're ready for war, aren't they? They're getting in there. You know, them two want to win more than anything. So there is animosity going to be there. It's all part of the job. But this is a beautiful thing with the sport of boxing. When it's over, that respect will be there.
Just a quick note on Mr. Hughie Fury. He is here. Obviously not going to bother him with the interview today, but yeah, just asking how is he. I've not had the chance to speak to him.
He's all right. He's going to turn into Superman with his gold injections, I believe. You know, I've already asked him. I said, make sure you send me an email so I can voice it over to you, Cad, because we'll be dragged up next by the neck. So no, but I believe it's very good for this long COVID. So, and he's been there today, and he said he reckons he's definitely got long COVID because he's got all the symptoms, and I think he's going to start treatment next week. So fabulous.
In terms of when we'd like to see him back out, obviously next year, but when in next year we like to see him. Well, it's early stages yet, isn't it, really? Yeah,
he's got apparently there's like eight injections, and you've got to have a rest and have one a day, and then have a rest a day and have another one like this. So he's going to be here for 2 weeks having this course with these people from Harley Street, and then, but he's out. He won't be boxing this year. You know, he's going to get the treatment, get back well again, and then we'll re-look at it next year. He'll start training, light training, probably the end of January. So I expect him out realistically, full fitness, especially with the rest, probably the end of April, May, sometime like that.
Obviously, do want to get your other things within boxing. I haven't had a chance to speak to you since you've been here, Peter. Obviously, last week was a bad week for boxing. Many people have taken a certain side already. You have gone the opposite. Obviously, innocent until proven guilty. Just talk to me about your feelings about the whole situation, Peter.
Again, you're right. I'm not going to condemn anybody. I don't know the facts, and I'd rather wait and see the facts come out. It's definitely, though, bad for boxing. It's not a good report at all for boxing. And I can understand the frustration of the fans as well. They was expecting a super fight, and it would have been. It's a big letdown. So people, they're venting their anger as well and the frustration. So I get that. But I'm not going to judge on anybody. I'm going to give everybody the respect they need, and hopefully, the truth comes out. But look, if they've done it and they find out they've done it, then there will be proper stringent penalties in place. But it's in a way, I said earlier, maybe whatever happens, whether he's innocent, whether he's guilty, let's just move on from there with him. But let's just say it's a positive thing in the long run, because everybody now, all these testing bodies will up the ante even more. Because if people are cheating up and down, and there's a lot in the industry, it does need phasing out. So hopefully they'll step it up even more, which they are doing. Savannah got checked early this morning. She's been checked rigorously every day or so. It is right through this camp with VADA, and also now UCAD, probably since this has come out, she's getting checked as well. So it's good if it does that. But what they need to do is check these more regular outer fights as well, so they can't go and start training elsewhere. And when they're out of fights, they should be on them all the time like a rash. Because I know with Hughie, he does this thing where he's got to produce his movements everywhere he goes. Even here, even when he goes to Harley Street, wherever he's going, where he's staying overnight, he's got to say where he is. And I think that's a good thing. So I think probably if there's a lot of cheating going on, then maybe they should do that with everybody. I don't know if they're doing that with everybody or not. I know that's what they're doing with us. So it needs. Always good comes out of bad.
Is it the money side of it? I've heard it's quite a lot of money to keep on testing people. So I think maybe it's the money that's the issue. But yeah, you just spoke to me. You're getting tested regularly, so I don't really know what the situation currently is. But what are some of the public missing in your eyes? Why are so many people going so far against Conor Benn already?
Well, I think namely is what it is, so I'm told. It's some kind of a masking agent for whatever it is. So, listen, people's judgmental on it. But look, like I said, I'll wait and see. But, people's got the facts from the newspapers and stuff like that. And look, I'm not the biggest fan of newspapers, to be honest. I've been on the end of them for many, many years. And, I ain't got really that good things to say about newspapers and tabloids. Because, listen, I don't got nothing wrong with the people, but bad news sells. If there's anything positive whatsoever, and if it is a little bit bad, then it's like the building's been bombed. It's made into like, whoa, this massive thing, So, like I said, when they get something, but look, there's no smoke without fire. Let's see what happens. We live in a world like this anyway. It's all social media. Everybody can say things, so let's see what happens. But like I said, in the long run, it'll be good for the sport.
Finally on this then, was it the way it was handled, do you think, that was the main problem? Why the public are so anti and so against it? Is it just the way, because according to reports, and again, not a fan of newspapers, I understand that, but to what we know, they knew on the 23rd of September and nothing was said. So is it the way it was handled, why people are so angry about it?
Well, I think if the way it was handled back then, it could be a number of reasons. Maybe because the fight could still go ahead. I don't know. There's loads of different things. If they knew, I'm sure the promotions who's putting that fight on, if they knew this fight was definitely getting cancelled, they wouldn't have cancelled it. But obviously, they must have been told at the time, yeah, they can look into it, but they can still box, because sometimes that can happen. They can say, okay, we're putting a suspension on, and then they take it off again. That can happen. So maybe that happened. So I don't know. But look, there's one thing I do know. when they've come with them findings and the facts has come out, or they had the facts back then, the fight should have been cancelled straight away anyway. You know, so I don't know, but fight shouldn't go ahead if people are testing positive. Otherwise, what's the point in testing them then?
Final one on this. I spoke to Jamie Moore on Tuesday a few days ago, and he said that, you know, with there being so much of this going on, it puts him off the sport. Puts him off. He's got a young boy who's going to start boxing. Do you worry as a trainer about what is going on to your fighters?
I've got a lot of respect for Jamie, and what he's saying is right. How can you disagree with it? Yeah, when you got kids himself, he's been a proper fighting man, hasn't he? He knows what it's like. Can you imagine if they'd have been juicing with him when he was fighting? And he's got that forward style, he's a fighting man, isn't he? Dangerous sport. It's a dangerous game, this. So what he's saying is right. It's too dangerous to play games like that. So, it needs sorting out. And people as well need to have the confidence in these governing bodies doing it right as well.
I hurt all the girls that I fight, but I will come out victorious.
Clock ticking until I become the undisputed middleweight champion of the world.
This is another moment that my hand would be risen.
I've fully prepared myself for a war.